Out cold.
Cool Runnings.
That's not even the name of the movie. We fucked up after one.
All right, let's start over. Let's do it again. Out cold's out, so you gotta do another one now.
Wait,
In 5D.
Cool Runnings is a fucking movie.
You said it's out cold. You said cold runnings.
I said Cool Runnings.
You are so
But-
full of shit. There is audio proof of this.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
We got one. I'm the grand champion with a score of 1. You're
That
welcome.
doesn't even count.
It counts.
I'm the champion because I didn't have to go and I won.
I
The
won
person
the score.
before me
nothing.
fail.
If this was golf rules, big guy, you'd have killed it.
Wow.
Can you get a 0 in golf? Oh, I guess
No.
you can get negatives, huh?
You can get a 0. That's
Can
called
you?
par. Because they only count above and below par.
Can you get a 0 in golf? I legitimately need to know this now. What is a 0 handicap? This is
Wow, this is the most exciting opening we've ever fucking had. All right, Klops,
Don't know.
sing us in.
Wait, why would you know?
In 5D, Eduardo sucks at the game.
So badly?
Yeah,
You couldn't
sure.
get 1?
Fucking okay, sure. I couldn't get one. I still can't think of fucking Cold. A movie that starts with cold. Like, yeah, give me a movie
You
that
still
starts with
can't
cold.
get it. You still can't get it.
You're using the internet. I see your hands moving.
Yeah, no,
you
I'm
piece of
pulling
shit.
some stuff up, but
Yeah.
I want you to get 1. And I'm pulling this up. I will even share my screen. All I have up is IMDb in case you try and pull some bullshit like Cold Montoya. It was a movie in my home country. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, you realize this is my home country, right?
I mean, it is now. But you do this like, oh, well, when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was also in this country. It was in Salinas. Just because it sounds like Mexico doesn't mean it was.
You were born in a different country.
I was born in a different country, but I came over here very young.
I'm just saying, you're not pulling that.
Fuck, dude. I'm sure there's some sort of a shitty horror movie that starts with cold, but fuck, yeah, no, I got nothing.
Claps, you got a cold?
I got a cold. I was gonna say
Also
cold
looking
fear.
shit up.
Cold Fear? I don't know it, but I'm looking it up. Cold Fear. Cold Fear 2005 action adventure horror. Which actually, no, that's a video game. Sorry, Klops.
I know,
Cold
that's-
Fear was a game.
I tried.
I'm telling you, cold is a tough one.
Yeah, cold is a tough one. I can't think of anyone's.
Cold Mountain, Cold Case, Cold Pursuit, The Cold Light of Day, Cold Feet, Cold Skin.
Yeah, none of which have been, from what I remember, mainstream movies in the last, 10, 15 years?
Cold Case starring Danny Pino. Okay.
Oh, sure, Danny Pino, the good old Danny Pino. I knew ye well.
I liked
was-
it. That was a good. We got a lot of warm up done with that intro. It was good.
Yeah,
was
no,
good.
sure. It was probably the shortest fucking intro ever, too.
Yeah. I like it. Improv games.
Hey, well, again, fuck you. Cold is weird one. I just fucking out of nowhere.
You could have at least made something up.
I said Cool Runnings.
That's okay, but it's not the same word if you're correct
It
about
doesn't
this.
matter.
You're a piece of
It's
shit.
the same temperature, you piece of shit.
It would have been funnier if you would have said like Snow Day because that's an actual movie.
Cool
would've been funny
Runnings
if you
is a
said
movie.
heat. It's all temperature.
Yeah.
Cool Runnings is a movie?
It is a movie. Doesn't hold up, actually. Just rewatched it recently.
Really?
Doesn't hold up.
I
No.
I rewatched it like about a year ago. Unless it's gone stale since then. John Candy's still pretty funny.
I'm not saying it's not without up moments. It's just, it's not fantastic. It's just an all right movie.
It's got a couple. It's quotable. It's got a couple really good quotable
Yeah.
lines. And actually, I find a lot of those comedies, like Weekend at Bernie's,
I haven't rewatched that one. I probably should rewatch
it
Weekend at
doesn't hold up as much as I remembered. It's still funny and entertaining. But
What about
nowhere-
Weekend at Bernie's 2? Remember, they sacrifice a pigeon.
I don't fucking remember. I don't think I could tell the difference if you showed me a scene between
Weekend
1
at
and
Bernie's
2.
2 is the one where the music plays and then he walks on his own.
Oh, that's
Right.
And he's got that goofy little, like, he doesn't walk,
Okay.
man. He grooves down
I'm
the street.
starting
It's
to
pretty
believe that I have only ever seen Weekend at Bernie's 2 then.
great. Weekend at Bernie's 2 is so good. You should fly to Oregon just so we can watch a Weekend at Bernie's 1 and 2. We'll back to back it.
A Weekend at Bonsai's for a Weekend at Bernie's.
I like it.
Nice. We'll make a Facebook invite for people.
It's a bunch of strangers at my house watching Weekend at Bernie's.
Hey, better than Cool Runnings.
It's fair.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that a lot of the older comedies, they are not as funny as I remember them.
And it's rare to run into one that doesn't have a cringy, inappropriate joke that doesn't work in 2019.
Oh yeah, like dude,
like not one.
Watch Half Baked.
Oh man, I still like Half Baked.
Oh,
but
I think it's great, but I mean, come on.
yeah, a lot of it's not okay.
Yeah, like even Clerks.
I like that here's a weird inside me and Eduardo's brain thing. I don't even think Klops knows this one. We constantly quote Half Baked with a quote that isn't quite from Half Baked. It's sort of just we fucked up inflection on a thing so much that we made a line. It's the same words, but it's a completely different delivery than what happens in the movie. But any one of our like close group of friends can say this line completely inappropriately, and all of us will know exactly what movie is happening. It's just this very broken memory we all have. It's like people believing it's Luke, I am your father, even though he never fucking says that. He says, no, I am your father.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where in our brain, this is exactly how it happened. And in reality, and unfortunately there is proof of the reality, it's not even kind of how that happened.
Okay.
So there's a part where Scarface is being held hostage by Samson. And he looks at me and goes, he keeps calling him Mexican or something. And he goes, I'm Cuban B. And he goes, yes, Cuban B. Or I don't even know how he delivers it. But the way it constantly gets delivered between like me, Eduardo, my brother, our buddy Marcus is, yes, Cuban B. Like it's this huge over the top thing. And it's not like that.
Yeah, no, I actually just recently
isn't even like that.
I recently rewatched that fucking scene. And he goes, oh yes, Cuban B. And
it's not even close.
yeah, no, we're like, ah, yes, Cuban B.
Cuban B. This is not funny to anyone but me and him, but I had to share. These are real things.
Well, no, which is kind of funny because this brings us to I was just watching a YouTube video on the Mandela effect.
Oh, maybe it was that way, man.
Well, right? Well, in a lot of things, especially like the Luke thing, and like a bunch of people are like, "Oh no, Nelson Mandela totally died in prison," and we remember seeing the funeral.
I actually remember hearing because I was younger at that point, but I remember hearing my parents talk about him getting shot and dying in prison.
Dude,
like vividly, I remember.
I remember to the point where the government had him killed in prison, not our government, but their government. Like. It was a thing, and I remember it because as an adult, when they told me that, I always just hashed it up to being a public school kid and going, man, those textbooks were just fucking wrong.
That was wrong.
No, because I caught plenty of textbooks that had things incorrect, like little things like that nowadays, like, oh, Pluto's not a planet anymore. Great.
Oh yeah.
But there's been other things like that where I'm just like, that's not true. That's not how history happened. So I always just hatched it up. Also, the other one that always gets me is the Berenstein Bears versus
Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain Bears. I always thought it was Berenstein. Apparently, it's not.
Yeah, it's never been Berenstein. Yeah,
and that blows my mind. And that's
the mirror on the wall was never mirror on the wall. It's magic mirror on the wall.
Yeah, but people swear by these lines, and the one that I find the most baffling when it comes to what our sphere of influence here is there's a movie folks could swear existed where Sinbad played a fucking genie.
Yeah.
And it was the genie Shazam, and I'm like, that sounds like that one movie that Shaquille O'Neal played, and y'all are just fucking racist. But people have like full-blown stories that have nothing to do with the Shazam story.
So I can tell you exactly what I remember happening. I used to get babysat by a family called the Ishidas. Okay, it was Michael and Sarah Ishida, their parents. So he was like a kid. Me and him were in the same class. He was a kid my age. His younger sister, my older brother, my sister, we're me and my sister the same age. We're not twins. It's a whole thing. Step family. Shut up. Fuck you. So me, her, Michael, all the same age. And then there's another girl, Camille, who went to school with us, but was like a grade year above us. All went and babysat there. And I hated this kid, Michael. He's a decent guy now. I ran into him in high school. He's a good dude. Just like in elementary school, it was this kind of like bitter rivalry kind of thing, like one-upsmanship, kid bullshit. So I fucking hated this guy. And me and my brother had seen, like we always did, had memorized and owned Kazam. Big fans of that movie. Not sorry. I know it's terrible, but I was like 10.
Fuck yeah, dude. It raised motherfucking cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, no, for real. That movie was the jam. Also, look up the kid who played the main kid in that now. He's got like face tattoos. It's great. Michael Ishida was a big fan of Shazam with Sinbad, and we got in an argument about this back and forth. And that's why I remember it. I know this movie existed because I was in an argument with another kid, like a bitter argument where he was like, no, Shazam is better, Sinbad is better, this is the shit. And I'm like, no, bro, Shaq, Kazam, Boombox, hamburgers, jam. Like, and I can even tell you what Shazam was about. It was about a divorced dad and his kids, and the kids find the magic lamp, and they make wishes to try and like fix their dad's life. It was. I don't think I ever actually saw it. I saw trailers for it. I had friends who saw it, but I saw Kazam, and it was this back and forth on the schoolyard. This was a thing. This was a thing.
And people have the exact same fucking reaction as you do. They remember exact plot points, exactly how you're saying them. Some folks actually remember seeing it, and it is fucking mind-boggling. The Mandela effect is fascinating, and also it can also have to do with just the human brain and how we tend to make connections with stuff, so it might just be this weird wayward connection.
I don't even like people or talk to them.
But
I have no connection with you.
A lot of these are all, like the Mandela thing is actually worldwide. There are people all over the world who could have sworn that he died in fucking prison. I went years till I was like at least 20 thinking that homie had died in prison.
Yeah, I thought he was dead until like they made the Morgan Freeman movie. I'm kidding, but no, I thought that dude was dead forever.
Yeah, so there's a number of things that are just like it's that everyone just swears that it used to be one way, and there's people are like, no, that movie never existed. That's not a thing.
Yeah,
it's
fucked up, man. I'm pretty sure I'm not from this dimension.
Right, Klops, have you heard of this at all?
Yeah, I have. As a matter of fact, I vaguely remember a memory of like Sinbad in a weird outfit playing a genie.
I'm saying,
but like I for the life of me, I know it's not Shazam because I remember seeing that one too, Shaquille O'Neal, but I don't remember
Kazam.
Kazam, whatever. But I for the life of me could never find it or ever like really remember any more than that than just like one memory of just Sinbad in a weird kind of like genie outfit kind of looking thing.
So there's actually the weirdest kind of testimonial of that. There's a guy who swears, because he used to work at a video store, and he swears that his boss had him buy 2 copies of the Sinbad movie. And the reason he remembers it is people kept returning it and saying, hey, this movie doesn't work. So he'd have to watch it over and over to find defects in it. Because apparently that's how they used to screen movies back in the day. Just gotta watch them. And it blows my mind. So I find it pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's sort of fuck. This is real.
Yeah, well, that's the way. Yeah, a lot of folks are about like the Mandela thing and Berenstein Bears. Apparently,
wasn't there also like another phenomenon where like people like see this weird dude in their dreams all the time? Like he has like really like kind of common features, and it's like a phenomenon worldwide. Like people
Oh.
have like just seen the same dude in their dreams for the like past 20 years, right? Just different people have no connections with each other whatsoever, but it's the same kind of character model.
There's a couple phenomenons like that make the case for like the collective unconsciousness of humanity. I don't know about that one specifically, but there's this phenomenon also called shadow people, where they attribute it to night terrors, but everybody experiences it in a very similar way, where you see this shadow and you can't move and you're paralyzed, and there are a couple of little different symptoms that vary in the sense like some experience it a little stronger than others. But yeah, the human brain, as unique as we like to think we are, I guess isn't that unique
again.
Right, there you go. All right,
that's what did it.
that was the thing. All the horrible shit and all the horror movies you watch, nothing, but everyone dreams about this one guy, and there you go.
Yeah, his name's Pete. He's awful.
All right, so this is a part where I just have to suck it up because I was too drug-addled to fucking leave my house this weekend. Painkillers.
You want to just take off your headphones?
No, well, it's fine. Let's talk about Avengers Endgame. Woo!
Endgame.
Well, so let's ease. Okay, he is gonna take off the headphones. Okay, that's fine. Then let's just spoil it. I was gonna say there's a way we can do this without just ruining it, but let's just go. What'd you think, Klops?
Honestly, I mean, I kind of predicted what was going to happen with a lot of things because I've seen Dragon Ball Z way too much.
Oh, because I've read the comics. Like there were specific things that I called.
Really? Well, no. I just at the end of the other Avengers movie, part 2 or whatever, part 1, I was like, "Don't worry, guys. They're gonna get the Dragon Balls back together. They're gonna wish everybody back, and they're gonna wish him away."
I mean, that's not even just Dragon Ball Z. That's just comics.
Yeah, I guess
Plus,
so.
announcing a Spider-Man movie that does come after Infinity War kind of gives some shit away. Like,
yeah, I guess that does too. I mean, but that could also be something else all entirely, right? You know,
I guess, but
I did like the movie. I didn't think it was terribly done at all. I thought it was actually pretty good, but I don't think it was like a 9 or a 10 Marvel movie. I felt that there were some things that were kind of just like MacGuffins for like okay, that was just a MacGuffin then, like Captain Marvel, you know, like her whole plot point in the movie and stuff.
She was very Superman-ish, though I will say that is how I wish DC would treat Superman. I wish Superman was more of a MacGuffin than he was a character. I am actually fine with Captain Marvel being a MacGuffin as long as she is regularly a MacGuffin now. Do you know what I mean? Like, as long as this is a thing, like, if we can wait till she gets here, we're okay. We have to hold the line kind of thing. I'm actually okay with that. It's honestly what I wish DC would do with Superman.
Well, my thing is like there was such a big deal about this movie, right? About Captain Marvel in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like how she was going to be an Endgame, right? You know, and there was all this fucking bullshit around it, and like it's like what? 5 minutes of her, and then she's gone for like most of the movie, and then makes another appearance later.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I guess that's fine. That's whatever. I really don't care if it's a MacGuffin that way, except for the fact that there was so much bullshit behind it that was like, what?
So the movie, they were really forcing the movie to be 3 hours with that. Because had she not left,
her to show up in the opening scene and then fucking fly away.
Though, to be fair, to put her in more of the movie, you don't really have much of a movie because every problem is solved with, and then Captain Marvel goes and takes care of that. Do you know what I mean? It's why I wish Superman was more of a MacGuffin, because when you make a character who just has all the powers, what does he have? All of it. What's he good at? Everything, all the time. He's even better than dying because he had no fucks. Superman. That's kind of how they keep talking about Captain Marvel. So I wish they would just make her just do that then. It's not about...
That's fine, but I just wish that there was something in between the times that they did show her that showed like what she was kind of doing.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Just like a touch upon, right? Because it didn't feel like she was actually part of the movie. She felt like she was a MacGuffin, which is fine for most things, but still, like, what the fuck is she doing out there? Oh, it's happening all over the universe. Well, okay, let me see a little bit of it. Like, don't just tell me, fucking show me.
please replace something with that, because if that movie was any longer, I was going to choke myself to death. It did not need to be 3 hours.
Yeah, that's true. It was fucking kind of
a little padded.
Yeah, no, true. I did like, and I feel like the most characters that I really grew upon, at least from the series, like out of seeing them all, was definitely Bruce Banner and Thor. Like, they were my 2 favorite characters in the movie that I enjoyed, like both of their interactions and their storyline and their kind of like subplots and stuff.
So just while you're commenting on that, I have to counterpoint you. Hulk was one of my least favorite parts because we made such a big deal in Infinity War about like, Hulk's broken, man. He can't use him. Hulk won't come out. And so the whole time you're like, fuck, well, what's going on with that? That seems really fucked up. And then the first second you see the Hulk in this movie, like, we fixed that.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of bullshit.
This whole thing that was a huge deal, you just took care of that the fuck off screen. It's fine. It's fine.
But I think that's more to do with the American way of storytelling in movies these days than...
It doesn't make it good, in my opinion. Like, that was a big ding against the movie and the character. For me, that really sucked.
Yeah,
that's where you feel like we got robbed on the Captain Marvel bit. I feel like we got robbed on the Hulk bit.
Oh, no, there was plenty of other places that I felt like were like, what the fuck? Okay, whatever kind of thing. But I'm just saying that, like, in general, after that effect, his character and, like, him doing things, and then, like, the whole, like, retrospective seeing the Hulk as the Hulk and, like, the other scenes and stuff, I really liked those interactions and stuff. Like, when they're recapping about the first movie or whatever, the first Avengers movie, and he's like, too many stairs! Like, I liked his, like, comedy and his lines and kind of like the whole thing. I think it's called Mr. Fix-It. When they're together, when it's Hulk and Bruce Banner merged.
Oh, it's had a few different names over the years.
I don't know. My girlfriend was saying it's Mr. Fix-It, I think.
There's a few.
But I really liked how, like, he had this demeanor of, like, Bruce's kind of intellect with the Hulk kind of actually having some sense of humor too, like when he's interacting with some of the people.
It definitely helps the story move along. I'll give it that. If he was just another rage monster again, things would have been problematic in a different way.
Right.
So I get the need for it. I just wish we would have done a little bit back a little bit. That would have been better. So how'd you feel about the Black Widow?
I mean, at that point, I wanted either one of them to go. You guys are fighting over who's gonna not be the martyr. Just pick one.
But I mean, like, going forward, weird not having Black Widow around. She's getting in movies, which I'm guessing is going to be a prequel. Then,
yeah, it's gonna. From what I hear, it's gonna be like set 20 years before that, and she, like, my girlfriend was telling me about it. She's like, well, "What was the war that, like, 20 years ago?" I was like, "Well, that's kind of like the old end of the Cold War and stuff," which would make sense because when she met Hawkeye, it was around the 90s or something like that. And
well, to be fair, when that movie comes out 20 years ago, it'll be the year 2000. If anything, it's a wreck. 2020, 20 years ago is 2000.
Yeah,
that's math.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it takes place from that. I know that her timeline was from the 90s, though. Like when she got introduced from S.H.I.E.L.D. Or into S.H.I.E.L.D.
Just saying, 20 years before 2020.
I don't know.
2000.
Yeah, I get that point. I know what you're saying that. I'm just saying that, like, I was talking about, like, what my girlfriend was talking about, which was, like, she's, like, set in the 90s and, like, doing stuff, like, coming into, like, the 90s and stuff like that, where she met, like, Hawkeye and, like, joined S.H.I.E.L.D. Because apparently it's supposed to be, like, that kind of prequel, where her story of joining S.H.I.E.L.D.
All right. Endgame.
Yeah. I actually really liked Thor in this one. I felt that his performance was really good, and I was the only one in the theater that got the joke about Big Lebowski.
Oh, really? People laughed in this one.
I was the only one that laughed. 'Cause I was the only one that knew. It was great. I really liked his performance, and, like, I like how he had, like, a beer gut at one point.
Oh, he had it through most of it, which is pretty great. I liked the beer gut. The beer gut was funny.
I thought it was good. Because you'd think that, like, him being an Asgardian, his, like, metabolism would instantly kick back in and, like, just metabolize all that.
No. Not when you've been a lazy bitch playing Xbox all day. Believe me, I know.
I guess. So I really liked that. I really liked... I thought I don't know. I kind of was like at the ending when everything happened with Thanos and everything. I was kind of like, okay, all right. Like the theater was cheering, and I was just like, can we get this over with? Like it's been like almost 3 hours. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
And then, but I did like the tie-in for the characters, like Captain America and stuff, right? You know, I liked all those tie-ins that they did towards the end, and how all the other characters were going to go off and do their own thing.
Okay. So I would have to say, for me, I can't point to any one scene and go, that was really weak, that was really bad, I'd cut this. I don't know what I would cut from this movie. Fuck, would I cut something from this movie? Because 3 hours was too much. I don't know. I don't know where it comes from, but it needs to come from somewhere. It didn't need to be 3 hours. It felt padded. I just with like one viewing, I can't tell you which part felt padded. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I can guarantee you, going back and rewatching it, I will probably be able to go like that, get rid of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I did like what was there. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. The emotional moments at least felt emotional. I got a lot of friends like, I fucking cried. How did you not cry? And I'm like, because I don't usually cry at movies. But yes, it was very emotional. It you know, it hit. It hit when it needed to hit. I did feel like it lacked a little bit of punch. Maybe only because Infinity War, with that ending, man, that ending leaves you with a total just like hit. You know what I mean? It's like Empire. It ends on the down note. But that resonates with you, ending on the down note. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Leaves you with anticipation. This next one ends on a down note in a way. Like there's negative shit, you know? Big negative shit. But it still feels positive because you know everything's going forward and moving on. It has a different kind of hit, and for me, I feel like Infinity War hit harder than Endgame did. Like if I'm drawing up my rankings, no matter where I'm putting Infinity War, I think Endgame is just behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I think part 1 was the stronger part.
Okay, I can see that. I guess there. So that's the thing is like I felt like some of the stuff resonated as far as like emotionally stuff, but like my two characters that resonated with me were Thor and Hulk. Right. And that's what resonated with me. The rest of them were like, oh, okay, I see that's emotional. And like there were other people getting teary in like theater and stuff, right? You know, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I see you down there crying in your popcorn. That's fine.
The other so there was one scene in particular, and I'm not taking away from the scene. I'm not busting the scene's balls. I like the scene. It's the scene where Parker's down and like all the lady heroes show up and go kick some ass. It's a fucking dope scene. It looks great. It plays well. It all works. My only issue is just sort of on a logical level. Why were all the lady heroes just right the fuck there right then? That's why this whole huge battlefield, and they were shown all splitting up and running around and being badass. And it was really great to see them all lined up like that. But why were they all right the fuck? It just, like, when that happened, when all of just them happened to stand up, I was like, really, just statistically, there wasn't like one dude hero right here with him? Just, and all, not even just most of the ladies, all of the ladies were right here at that moment?
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of
it was very weird.
Yeah. I guess I could see that. It was just kind of, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, it was a point they were trying to make, right? You know, they're trying to bring them all on screen.
And again, it looked great. Yeah. So, I mean, how do you argue with a scene that worked? I guess you don't. I'm just, once you shine that logic light on it for a half a second, go like, why were all them right there? You have to go, fuck, why were all them right there?
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's injecting logic into this movie, and that doesn't need to really happen too much. It's a superhero movie, right? Just
because it was dope. It happened because the universe was like, hey, we need a little bit of dopeness right now.
Regardless, me and my girlfriend were talking about it, and I was like, so if they did this with all the Infinity Stones, wouldn't there still be alternate timelines where other things were happening based on the Googleplex and everything else like that? Right?
No,
you know,
they say it's because they put it back.
That's not how time and multiverse and Googleplex's work, my friend.
We don't know how that works. Otherwise, we'd be able to fucking time travel. It's a theory, bitch.
I'm just talking about that theory and how it's logical.
Yeah,
and
in
how
that one theory, it doesn't work.
It's like, well, I mean, I'm trying to inject this into a superhero movie, so that's my problem.
Same light.
Right?
Same
that's
light.
That's
Okay.
that's my fault for trying
Same
to like
light.
logic this out. All right. But it was still the same thing because like that was what we were getting into. Like we're starting to try to inject logic into a fucking superhero movie.
Yeah. So let's do. Here's the we've already spoiled a lot of stuff, but here's like the big spoiler. If you don't want to hear the spoiler, this part is the spoiler. And so this is actually some of the stuff that I called. All right. The folks whose contracts were ending.
Right. Yeah, I saw that one too.
Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Chris Hemsworth was actually up to end. So what I told my wife, Robert Downey Jr. dies because I know he's not re-signing. Like, I just know that guy isn't. Robert Downey Jr. dies. I said, Chris Hemsworth probably would not have re-signed had it not been for Ragnarok. And I think now he wants to have a little more fun with the character because Ragnarok breathes some life into it for him. Like, he's been quoted as saying that. That's not just me reaching. He has said, like, man, I got a lot more excited over the character once we did Ragnarok because it was a lot of fun. And now him rolling around with the Guardians, I think it all fits. I think he signs the contract. He plays a little longer. That was part of the spoiler, by the way. He's going to run around with the Guardians. Spoiler.
Which I can't wait for.
Yeah, no, it looks great. Love the play between Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth. Super fun. And they have a slot to fill because, another spoiler, Gamora's not coming the fuck back, at least not immediately. So there's that. So, the third one was the wild card, Chris Evans, because I've just never heard the guy really talk about his feelings on the character or how things were going to happen. But what I did tell my wife, it's like, doesn't matter what happens with Chris Evans, Falcon becomes Captain America. She was like, what? And I was like, it's a thing in the comic. Falcon becomes Captain America. Bucky's not Captain America. Bucky gets, I forget his new name. He gets an America-themed name. He's like the War Machine to Iron Man. But he's not Captain America.
I thought they shared that at one point. Or like they were both, in a way, Captain America at one point in the comics.
No, what I'm talking about is this newest run they just did.
Okay, because my girlfriend was saying that at one point, both of them were at one point.
Yeah, that may have been like a historic, just like for a while, like there were different people wearing the Batman mask while Batman was sick and dying. I think he had Motama. Right. So like Alfred, I think, was Batman at one point. It was weird. There might have been a thing like that, but what I'm referencing, so Falcon becomes Captain America. Jane Foster becomes Lady Thor, and she has cancer. It was weird. It was weird. Comics. And then Riri Williams becomes Iron Man. She's basically this like child prodigy, MIT robotics genius who gets this grant from Tony Stark and then stumbles upon Iron Man suits and she becomes Iron Man. So and with all the kids that they introduced in this movie, weirdly, I am thinking we might introduce a Riri-esque character.
Well, what my girlfriend was saying is that it's setting up for Young Avengers.
Yeah, some of the players are wrong for it to be Young Avengers. It's not Hawkeye's daughter. It's a different girl named Kate Bishop. So the name is wrong for that. Most of those people weren't in Young Avengers. Plus, they've already released their next slate of movies. Young Avengers isn't one of them.
Yeah, but they also have the shows. So like the Bucky and Hawk becomes Captain America.
Bucky and Hawkeye are getting a show, not Falcon. Bucky and Hawk are. Vision and Scarlet Witch are getting a show, but it takes place in the 1950s, so we're not sure how or why all that works. Loki is getting a show, and with him running off with the Tesseract, spoiler, that it might be a weird alternate timeline kind of thing.
Yeah.
We don't know. There's no detail on that. So yes, a Young Avengers could happen. I don't think it's likely. I don't. I think they're more likely to go with the New Avengers because New Avengers had Spider-Man, had Wolverine, and you can use the name to justify the 3 New Avengers. They won't get Jane Foster because Natalie Portman's not going to come back. Nobody wants that. But I think they'll do a New Avengers kind of thing. There's even a new Hulk. So you can move Hulk on because they get a dude named Amadeus Cho who's totally awesome Hulk instead of Incredible Hulk. He's got swooshy hair.
Huh.
And even they have announced. So this actually was she Young Avengers? This might be one thing in favor of Young Avengers. I believe they've said that they're going to bring in. Oh fuck! Now her name is Camilla Khan, Miss Marvel. So Captain Marvel's pseudo apprentice. She has like density control and stretchiness. She's actually dope. I think she was Marvel's first Muslim superhero, which is cool. They made an announcement. I don't remember if the announcement was she's going to get her own movie or she's going to appear in a Captain Marvel movie. I don't remember, but I believe I heard somewhere that they were doing something with Camilla Khan soon. So, or maybe that's going to be a show. I don't know. I just remember hearing something about Camilla Khan was a thing that was going to happen. So maybe, but I think unlikely. Unless maybe they're going to bring in Miles too, and I don't see that happening because he's going to stay in the animated Spider-Verse for a while. I don't know. So I called those. So I was neither like super blown away or sad or happy because I saw all those endings coming. I just kind of went like, oh, cool. It was that thing that I thought it was. And that wasn't like, fuck, I guessed it bullshit. Because it wasn't like a mystery to be solved. You know what I mean? It was more just like, oh, that thing that I figured, that's what it was. So how did you feel about, give me those three endings. Thor running with the Guardians, you kind of touched on. Give me more. Give me the death of Tony. Give me the retirement of Captain America.
Well, I pictured the death. I knew the death of Tony was going to happen, and I knew that Captain America was going to go out too. I just didn't know how they were going to do it.
See, I wasn't sure if he was going to re-sign. That was my only. I just didn't know how the guy felt.
I guess it's true. Honestly, I liked Tony's ending. I liked the fact that he went out and he went out the hero, right? You know what I mean? And he's kind of an asshole as a character. So I'm also kind of glad that he's not around anymore.
Now you have Doctor Strange to be an asshole.
He's different though. He's
a different kind of asshole.
And that's like I liked Tony as a character kind of, but I also was like, I kind of want him to stop just being so like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he's such a bitch sometimes. Like when being on board with things, and it was just like, Tony, you're fucking Iron Man. Grow a pair, all right? Just do your fucking job for once instead of being like, I told you guys. I told you all. Right? You know?
Fair.
So him going out was cool. And like, it seemed like he had this trust with Doctor Strange, right? You know? Because like in the ending scene when he looks at him and he just goes,
yeah,
you know, like that. And he knew. He realized, right? And he realized to the point where he even fucking before all this made a message. You know what I mean? And so I was like, that's pretty rad. That's good. It was a good send-off for him. Also, Captain America, I really liked his whole spiel of like showing old man Captain America, right? Yeah. And like
so it was a little different, but in the comics, he does become old, but it's because they take his powers away, and then it makes him age.
Okay, but I mean, what does a guy from the 1940s have to be in our timeline now that he can go back?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, he's done it all. He was even talking about in the movie how, like, he's not sure if telling people to move on is the right thing because he's pretty much lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I thought that was really nice of, like, a send-off for him, right? You know what I mean? Like, he didn't just die, right? You know, because they already had one character die, right?
And I think it worked because you really just, like, you just don't see that one coming.
Yeah, and that was the other part.
You probably called Tony. You probably knew something would happen with Captain America, but I think I don't know that anybody who would have called that specifically.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it. I like the fact that it was a cool alternate send-off than just, oh yeah, they both died. Both of them. They both died heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That works.
You know? So, I mean...
Right. So you want to give it you got anything else? You want to give it an overall rating when we bring Eduardo back? We ruin it for him.
A spoiler, Thanos dies.
Give it a rating.
I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Your guts.
Yeah, I think I'm only slightly higher than you. I'm like 7.5, maybe 8. Maybe. I think I kind of just feel like I need to rewatch Infinity War and then maybe this kind of back to back.
So you have a 5.5 hour journey instead of a 3?
Yeah, because I hate myself. But I think that's kind of what I want to do to really cement any rating. But that's where I want to live. I want to live at 7.5 to 8. I don't know. Fuck you. That's what I got. I don't have that. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. Let's signal him back. Wave your arms, Klops. Wave your arms. Wave your arms, Klops. There we go. We're getting him back.
All right. So,
okay, big spoiler. The orgy scene was a little much. We both felt it was a little much. Tasteful, but
actually,
a little much.
But I mean, it was straight out of the tree.
There is a heading that I read that was literally, there's not enough gay in Endgame.
There was a scene where it's a scene, but it's not like a scene.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away for you. There is a scene, but it's literally like not a scene.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just talking about like when you said orgy, I was like, it's not much of a stretch if the headline literally read, not enough gay in Endgame. And I'm like, what? Why? Okay, whatever. Cool. 2 things. Check this out. While I was in the green room waiting for you guys, and by green room I mean sitting here with my headphones off, I noticed 2 quirky things on the internet that I wanted to discuss. One is the Wikipedia people aren't on their shit. The current entry for the Attorney General states his name as the current attorney. The current attorney cover-up general is William Cover-Up Barr. So
nice.
He was born for that job.
Yeah,
nice.
They just threw like it's even nonsensical. They're just throwing cover-up in there anywhere. Okay, completely random. Also Reddit because it's the internet. So picture this. Your significant other, I know y'all have significant others. I don't know about the listeners, but definitely us here.
Yeah, I have several.
They get a friend of a friend to try and test you to see if you'll cheat.
Okay.
Like, come up to you, flirt with you, ask you out. How would you react? Klops, you go first.
I mean...
yeah, have Klops go first. That's the normal answer.
Yeah, I mean... I would go. I would flirt back and go on a date and fuck them, probably.
Well, if you were in a monogamous relationship, big guy, we understand where you're coming from. I'm just saying.
Not gonna happen.
The testing thing, how do you react to that?
Well, I'm pretty good with tests, although I fail them quite often.
That doesn't mean you're good with them.
I mean, I'm good at failing them. That's something. Well, first of all, if I'm in a monogamous relationship, which is not my thing, I feel that it, first of all, my opinion on this, because you're going to get it now, is that it's one-sided love, and it doesn't need to be existence like a cult, just like the Christians. All right? So...
Wow. All right.
Second thing is that when I have been in monogamous relationships, I do not cheat. I've come close to that because of other reasons, and it's not because I was just being tested with a super...
No, but I'm more talking about the act that your significant other has decided to send her friends after you.
I'm getting to that. I'm putting the premise because you're putting it in here that I, in the monogamous test thing, right? Because I can be trusted. Okay, my whole relationships, even my relationships that I have now currently, why not being monogamous, is about trust. So if they do not have trust in me and are going to test me that way,
sure,
then we've got a problem.
Okay,
we've got a big problem, and I'll probably leave your fucking ass.
Okay, so
I'll go find someone else to trust me and go.
You would leave. Would you
them.
Kick them out of your house?
If I own the house, yes.
Or sure, okay, yeah, all right. What about you, Bonsai?
No, I'd be pissed because, I mean, I'm just the kind of person, if I'm done and gonna go have sex with other people, I'm just gonna say that. There's no need to, like, test me.
Okay, so generally speaking...
I'm just saying, look, I took a personality test for work and it called me cold and emotionless twice. There's no need to test me on anything.
Yeah,
Spit on it and tell it it's a bitch.
No, those. Yeah, I was gonna say those tests are actually more about the attitude you're in when you take the test than your actual representation. Oh, this test says I'm apathetic and in a foul
Well,
mood.
I told my wife, my brother, and my mom that I got cold and emotionless, and they all went, yeah.
But I don't know if you can. I've seen you get mad very quickly about very random shit. That doesn't make you emotionless.
I took a D&D test recently, and by 7%, I am neutral evil.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, no, I mean, I'm angry. What's
So
the point of
would
this?
you be
Is there
pissed?
more?
Yeah. So you pissed. Okay. Now, would you leave or kick them out?
I mean, we both own this house. Either way, like nobody's keeping it without either giving me money or.
But the sentiment, you'd want them to go away.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I realize that for Bonsai, this is gonna be hilarious. But let's start with Klops. Klops, they're actually pregnant. Does that change your response?
No, that just means I'm going to fight for the child in court.
No, that just means I'll be paying child support.
Nope, kid's mine.
Not interested.
Okay.
I'll just throw money at that till it goes away.
So let me bring it around. The reason that this hypothetical question and why it piqued my interest is there's a subreddit called NTA, called it's a Not the Asshole, where people come in and post general questions and say, "Am I overreacting, or am I in the right here?" Basically, not the asshole. And there's a lot of self-serving people that just are looking for validation, but sometimes you get pretty interesting ones, and I thought this one was pretty interesting. So the dude's wife, they've been married for a while, super pregnant, and she's been like changed in attitude to the point where like he'll make her food, she'll eat all of it, but then still call it shitty, and just generally not being a nice person from obviously one-sided because we're getting it from one side. Apparently there was a younger girl who came up to him and flirted with him at the gym, and he dismissed her, was like, "No, I'm married." Got home and his wife was like all over him, super happy because she had her and her best friend got together and planned that test for him. And now he's like, "I think I'm gonna ask her to get out of my house."
Yeah, he's totally in the right.
And obviously the reactions are very different. I just thought it was fascinating where like what would you do in that scenario? I mean, I'd obviously be really, really pissed, and it would definitely create a gap there, right? Like you obviously don't trust me to the point where like you're almost just assuming, because if this happens and you caught me, then you were right all along. And if not, you're still going to have an issue because you don't trust me, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, there has to be trust in a relationship no matter what.
Yeah, totally random. But this is what I got stuck to when I didn't have my headphones on. So there's that.
Yay! And that brings us almost about time. We're going to talk about FML?
No, I don't want to. But yeah, sure, we're going to talk about FML.
And I still got my Game of Thrones recap.
Yeah, he's got his Game of Thrones recap. You go first.
Oh snap, y'all! That shit was fucking unhooked. Like literally everybody who was watching it at my house, all three of us, edge of our seats, fucking cray. Shit went straight cray. So it's like the big moment. Remember I was telling you guys last week, fucking zombies showing up at the door like, "Sup, bro? We're zombies." So everybody except the bitch and the traitor are all sitting back. They're not doing shit. But everybody else from 8 seasons all got a big-ass army. They're like, "Well, I guess we'll fight the dead." That's great. So the dead roll up. They're fighting. Dead. Like the whole first wave. They get these big fire swords and they're fucking charging in. Dead. All of them. Dead. So then the next wave comes up and they got a big barrier of fire and they fight. Dead. They're all dead. All of them are dead. And then they get in the dragons and the dragons are having a fight with a fucking zombie dragon. And they're fighting and they knock the dude off. And the dude's like, "Ho ho, bitch, we got you now." And she breathes fire on the king zombie dude. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm an ice monster. Fire doesn't do shit. I don't care. Fuck you." So then the fucking not dead hero good guy fucking comes walking up and he's like, sword fight. Dead dude's like, nope. Raises an army of the dead literally all around him. He's like, yeah, remember all your friends that I killed? Undead. This is how we work. What's wrong with you? So he raises them. Here's the part that's fucked up. They went, let's hide all the not fighting people in the crypt. And last episode, when they said that the goal was to hide people who don't know how to fight in a crypt, I was like, y'all motherfuckers know you're fighting undead, right? Because literally all the undead do is make more fucking... One job. Make more of them. And then you're like, hey, let's put the people who can't fight in a hole filled with monster fuel, and then just hope nobody sparks that, especially not the monster fuel spark king, who's right there also doing that. So then they fucking do that, and guess what goes the fuck wrong? So that's all going wrong. Basically everything's going wrong. And then there's this one kid who's got psychic eyeballs, right? So he's doing his psychic eyeball thing, and this guy who had his dick chopped off is like, I'm going to protect you, psychic eyeball kid, because I kind of fucked you over, and then they chopped my dick off for it, so I just kind of owe myself, the world, everybody, right? So he's guarding the kid, and the kid looks at him, he's like, hey, bro, thanks. The dude's like, yup. So he goes charging at the bad guys. He gets himself killed. Dead. King fucking bad guy walks up to Psychic Eyes, and Psychic Eyes is like, all right. He's just chilling. Big Bad's walking up, and he's just staring him down. Real, not even like, just staring. Kind of like old man stare. It's a little senile. Just staring. And then, bam! Out of the shadows, his sister shows up, shanks the king dead guy in the fucking stomach. Boom! All the dead fall over dead. War's over. They've been building this shit up for 8 seasons.
Are you making this up?
No. And in one episode, fucking, you've heard the name at least, Arya Stark, the little girl who was just like, I want to be a fighter. And it was like, you're a fucking noble girl. You're going to be somebody's wife and have babies. And now she's like Lord Queen Badass, a shanking dead people, shows up, pops off of a fucking roof and stabs the king in the fucking stomach. Kills them all with one blow. Right before her brother, the undead hero champion of the world, is about to go toe-to-toe with the zombie dragon, doesn't even get a swing off before she kills everybody. Fucking hero. Also, MVP of the whole thing. There's literally, she's like a 10 or 11-year-old girl who was supposed to be in one scene, and people loved her character so much they kept putting her back in. She's basically supposed to be, her family was the noble family of this region, and her parents are killed, and she has no siblings. So this, like, 10, 11-year-old girl is put in charge of an army of, like, savage-ass warriors called the Bear Clan. Or the Bear Islanders. Some bears. Bear people. Big fucking coats and axes and shit. And she runs the fuck out of them. Like, legitimately. She is a hard-ass bitch who does not give a fuck. What, like, they're making, like, agreements for who's joining what army, and she's like, no, I'm not sacrificing my people for less than my dotted line. What? Cold-ass little bitch. So she shows up, and they're like, do you want to go hide in the crypt? And she's like, I'm fighting with my people. Give me a goddamn sword. So they give her a sword. The fucking dead walk in. 13-year-old girl, undead giant. It walks the door and punches her once. She goes flying across the screen. She gets back up, bloody, beaten, bruised, comes running at the thing. It picks her up, starts squeezing the fuck out of her. Goes to eat her. She squeezes her arm free, shanks it in the eye, and kills it. They both fall down dead. That little bitch is the goddamn MVP of the whole show. The whole show. Whole thing, she wins.
Okay.
And that was the last episode of Game of Thrones, as told in Babel.
Wait, is that the last episode?
No, that was just not the last episode. It was the last
latest
episode. Yeah, the latest episode. There's
Okay.
3 So the next ones, now they're like, well, we fucking killed zombies. Let's ride this high. Now we're going to charge over to the traitor motherfucker with the boats and the bitch who keeps fucking her brother and killing everybody. We're going to fuck their shit up.
Okay.
That's the next 3. And then it's over.
All right. Fair enough, I guess.
Chair Fight. I want to write a movie called Chair Fight where it's really just it's like Game of Thrones but in one season. Chair Fight.
Jesus.
And they use other chairs to fight.
It's gotta be a lazy boy or a recliner fight or nothing. The king gotta be motherfucking comfortable. Or queen,
The
whatever.
king was the shit, man. I missed that guy. He just wanted to fuck whores all day. I'm not saying that's my jam. I'm just saying he knows what he wants and he went
Yeah,
for it.
dude, homie knows what he's about.
Yeah, he knew who he was. He was just playing his hand.
All right, fair enough.
Game of
Okay.
Thrones.
Yeah, there's the Game of Thrones recap. All right.
That's my recap. I really hope it's mostly people who've never seen the show, just so they can be like, I don't know what this is about.
See, that is me.
And it sounds fascinating, right?
Yeah, it
No.
sounds pretty good.
Yeah. It sounds like a bunch of stupid motherfuckers doing stupid motherfucker things.
Like, it's not enough for me to really want to watch the show, but
Yeah.
it's enough for me to like be entertained as you do it. To be like, I'm glad I heard that. That was fine.
I'm just giving you the
Alright.
highlights.
Yeah, that's cool. That's all I want.
Okay. Before we go, we'll do a quick MGN because it sucked and I didn't expect it to suck this bad.
I didn't expect to win.
Yeah. Okay. So you won with 282 million, which is really a high scoring weekend. And it's because you chose Penguins. And I was like, oh, horror movie and a kids movie. All right, here we go. And I fucking sucked.
So I will actually say there was some strategy to this. The way I lazed it up is I didn't do individual theaters. I just fucking copied it to all my theaters. And my thought was, what do people who don't want to go watch Endgame want to go watch? And there was
Your
like
answer was fucking
Shazam or some
Penguins?
other. And I'm looking at all the options and I'm like, anything that looks halfway good, the people who want to watch that are just going to be watching Endgame. Nature documentary. If you're not watching Endgame, you'd probably rather see a
So
nature
fucking
documentary.
Stupid.
And it fucking worked.
Yeah.
It's not stupid. It was real.
Totally fucking dumb.
It
That
was
was fucking
real.
Get the fuck out. Anyways.
I'm not even kidding. This was literally my thought process. I was so pleased with myself.
Go please yourself after the podcast too.
I'm gonna do it right here.
Right now. All right. And on that note, thanks for watching us. Check us out live Monday nights, 7 to
giving up
8
on this.
Pacific.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's just done. I have a pot roast. I have a roast in the
He put a pot on the oven. There's nothing in it.
Nothing. It's gonna be like Hook. It's gonna be imaginary fucking food here in a minute. All right. And on that note, bye.
Wait, you didn't even give us final word. Fuck you.
No, you don't give fucking final words. Fucking out cold, you piece of
Thanos
shit.
dies at the end.
Sure.